Well, tell me a little bit about the barriers, physical barriers that you're having to overcome on the glide cycle, about your hip and your knee and shoulders.
The hip was a shotgun, 410 shotgun when I was 6 years old, and it nearly killed me, but I spent 7 years in and out of hospitals, and I had to learn to walk 3 times. It also set it up for arthritis. So now I have a bad hip and a bad knee. I fell down the stairs twice and broke both shoulders. And then I was walking my dog and broke my elbow on ice. Most of my life I didn't have to deal with them. But then about 5 years ago, my hip started really bothering me. My knee started really bothering me. And when I went to the doctors, they said, you know, joint replacement.
So what did you do for exercise all these years?
I rode my bike, I walked, we hiked, I swam. I did those things, and then I had to give up the bike because my knee would swell up. I would ride it for 2 hours, and then for 3 days I couldn't walk. Then I eventually, walking became more of a chore. So instead of hiking all the way, like going on a 5-mile hike, I would go a mile and sit down and read a book and wait for them to come back. It's just been a little bit at a time that I give it up and give it up, and now I have ski poles if I want to go a little farther, and I have a walking stick that I use if I'm going to walk very far at all.
This is your second time on the glide cycle. How did it feel to each of your joints?
It felt great.
Your right knee felt okay?
My right knee felt fabulous. Didn't bother it at all. No swelling, no tenderness, nothing. So that was really good. My shoulders were fine.
Well, how have you felt so far about your experiences on the glide cycle?
I love the glide cycle. I love the whole concept. I love the idea. I really do. For someone like me who has limited mobility, this is great. This is a whole lot better than a scooter chair.
Mary Margaret's gaining independence finally on her glide cycle after 3 training sessions. She's got 2 broken shoulders, a shotgun wound to the hip, and a bad leg. And she now owns her own glide cycle.
And I love it.
Do you?
It's perfect. This is gonna change my life.
Mary Margaret, stop telling me how you're doing these days.
I'm doing great.
How many days have you been riding now since you bought this?
This has been a month, and I'm riding 3, maybe 4 days a week.
And each time you go about 3/4 of a mile or so?
Well, I started out doing a quarter,
Yeah.
and then a half, and then started doing 3/4, and I'm just getting ready to move it up to a mile.
And now this is coming from the girl who was going to buy a scooter chair because your mobility was actually
Isn't that crazy? And I find, like, I used to use a walking stick, and I still would on long walks, but I don't even use my walking stick anymore.
How does that make you feel?
Like I've gained 10 years again.
Well, hey, hi Mary Margaret.
Hi, Dave.
Well, it's been, what, 8 weeks now since you've had your glide cycle?
Almost 8 weeks, yeah.
Almost 8 weeks, and you're here with your lovely dog, Ani, and your husband, Bill, at the track.
And running 2 miles, Dave. This glide cycle absolutely has changed my life. I've gone from looking at scooter chairs, seriously looking at scooter chairs. I get up and out of chairs, I move, I'm doing things that I haven't done in at least 5 years.
And your legs, they bothered you so much in the past.
And they aren't hurting me like they did. I don't have to ice them. What I do is I go sit down for half an hour and put them up in the air, then I get up and go. I'm good. And that's the way I've lived my whole life, doing that. So, yeah, I'm back to what I used to be. So I can't wait for my grandchildren to come up and make them move.